Welcome back, NFL 5 fans. Joseph Ramirez here to talk a little bit about the spoiler season. It's preseason. I'm super excited. We're back 2021 set for NFL 5 coming out very soon. 2 weeks from now, I believe, on the 13th, 16th, 18th, doesn't matter. Anyways, a couple weeks away. So we're not far now from new cards, new card types. We have synergy cards, gridiron cards that include weather, they include stadiums, they include events, all very, very powerful things that are going to happen. Superstar cards available. A lot of those things that we're going to see really make an impact on this game, gameplay, meta defining. First thing I wanted to talk about real quick is the first preview that we had. Of course, the Oakland Raider synergy. Hunter Renfro receive, gain additional 10 yards if your team is synergized. It means all of your players have to be of the same team. 10 yards. If not, gain 5. You can still play this guy in like a sealed or draft format. He'd only gain 5 yards instead of 10. All in all, the guy's not very good. I probably wouldn't play him. In fact, I've got an idea getting ready to brew up that just kind of goes off the synergy part, and I actually cut this guy completely. Alec Ingold, second fullback, noted that will be in NFL 5 first, and of course, use check. Then this guy, exhaust, put an offensive player on your from your bench onto the field for this play. At the end of the play, remove the player and this player from the field. Exhaust only at the start of down. So he's a one-time get an overload out, and then him and the overloaded guy get removed from the field. They go to the bench. So just a one-time use type of deal that you can have. Darren Waller, key piece of the deck, tight end, receive, gain an additional 15 yards if all your players on the field have a different position. Otherwise, it's 5 yards instead. This is much more relevant. Key card, key piece. Another one, Derek Carr, exhaust, gain an additional 5 yards for each non-QB position you have on the field. Exhaust only during player designation. Josh Jacobs, run, additional 15 yards if your team is synergized, otherwise 5 yards. So first thing I see on here, there's a couple of things that I noticed about this, and I'll go into details about the idea that I have brewing as far as synergy. And it'll be the first thing that I hit for 2021's deck. That way you guys can kind of see it. It'll be one of those things that is one of the first things put out for the new set, and it's just screams at you like, here it is, pick up the game, somebody new, show somebody the game, here, play this. And if you know somebody who's a Raiders fan that would like to play the game, or kind of interested, there you go. But I would definitely look at essentially the combo would be you get Taron Williams from 2020, who says he's a wide receiver that says exhaust, gain an additional 10 yards if your receiver is a tight end that's ready. So you use that on Darren Waller. Essentially, the key piece is to go Alec Ingold to bring in Josh Jacobs from the bench. You have Waller and Williams, and of course, Derek Carr. So you throw the ball. You, of course, going to receive with Waller for 15. Then you activate Williams for 10 more. You activate Carr for 20 more because you're going to have all 5 on the field. So you're looking at, 20 plus 10, that's 30, plus is 15, that's 45. You can play the synergy that says if you're all rare or lower, you gain an additional 5 yards. And then at the beginning of the play, get to draw an action card or play card. That synergy is going to be really, really good with this, because then you're looking at like a 50-yard plus on anything you play. So if you do just a short pass at 25 yards. You're looking at, getting out there to, 75-yard short pass on this combo. It's a combo deck, right? So it's not always reliable. There's key pieces that can get broken, and it just stops, right? So when you look at it, yeah, it's definitely not like the best, but it's cool. It's a cool idea, and it's good. Another thing you could do, one of the new spoilers that just hit today was if your team is under 850 total overall rating, then you get a bonus effect, which we'll see in a minute. And I'll talk about that. But this could go in that synergy too. You could synergize in that too. And then, so you get to take your pick on synergies, and that lets you audible guys in at the end of down. So you could, essentially bring back your combo piece and then do it again. And, so on and so forth. So guys, keep a lookout on something like this for, just for fun. You might see me actually try and play this during the exhibition event just for fun. Just kind of show it off. Would definitely be cool. I've been kind of tinkering with it. Basically, you combo off, boom, 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 75 yards on your next play. If you have like team synergy from the 2020 set, like boom, play it, ready all my guys. That means I could do another instance of Carr, Williams, and Waller. So just there, you're looking at 35 extra yards, which 35 extra yards on any pass play is already talking quite awesome. So very, very excited for this. Just to play and have fun. Nothing meta, guys, but not too game breaking, but definitely would be a lot of fun. So I would definitely say, hey, something to look forward to. In the zone action card, I think this card is really, really good. Playing it and testing with it, I've gotten second thoughts. I thought first glance, I said, dude, this card is amazing. And the reason why I say it's amazing is because you can attach it to somebody who has an exhaust effect. Like let's say something like Bobby Wagner, right? Or Luke Kuechly, right? You go search, you can go search this card, and then discard a card, attach this to Luke Kuechly, and then choose him as the tackler. And then when he tackles, energize him at the end of the play. So things like that is pretty cool. So I just find that, it's definitely great. It's a one step slower adrenaline, but there are other things that you can do with it. Like I said, the exhaust effect to ready them and then reuse exhaust effects. So really not bad. You really want with this card, what you really want to do is look at things like Tua, right? And things that you can re-abuse the abilities on. So I you could attach this to like just anybody for real that has an effect that's going to let you re-abuse the ability over and over and over again. So definitely really, really good. Synergy, balance approach. If all your player cards have different positions, which again, you could play this in the Raiders synergy that I showed you guys. This is another one that it fits. And on fourth down, you can energize up to 2 players prior to selecting play. So if you want to just play the combo piece, go deep and then just spin 3 more downs to get there. And you need to untap, your 2 pieces, Waller and Williams. That's already just 25 extra yards on whatever you need. So you can do that on your fourth down and try and get yourself in. So this is actually really, really good. Not bad. You have to synergize around it, and you have to have cards in all different positions, which is not hard. You just can't play 2 quarterback scheme, which is fine. They're trying to get away from that. So it'd be nice to see more decks without dual quarterback. So that'd be nice. Epic, Patrick Mahomes. This is the audible Patrick Mahomes. So he's a power creep to Andrew Luck. Exhaust flip over the top part of the play deck. It becomes a current play. If you flip the same play as your previous selected play, you can flip over a second time. exhaust during on-field adjustments. So he gets you that extra action of that. If you flip over the same card, you know, pick the short pass, you get the short pass, and you flip over another short pass. So that's very unfortunate. But you would just stop there. So, you know, not too big of a deal. Aaron Donald is a monster. I think this card is really amazing. This will definitely see play, not only in competitive high-end play, but, you know, casual fun, synergy with, of course, the Rams. Tackle, grit, choose a grit value on a run. So if they do a run, you can check grit value, determine the grit. If it is the chosen number, the play loses 10 yards instead of gaining yards or losing yards, period. You just straight lose 10. So it's almost like I believe it was it Sack in the first set that did this? Something like that. If grit was not the chosen number, they just gain 10 fewer yards. So it's basically on a tackle, on a run, gain 10 fewer yards. Definitely not bad. Again, there's the synergy that we'll see in a bit that actually has grit value. So you can choose a grit value +1. So I think this would work. I would have to ask, but it's a good thing to check. Like, the synergy says you choose a grit and you get a +1 to the grit check. So like if I chose 5, I get 5 and 6 or 4 and 5. On a chosen effect, I wonder if it's going to let you do that. That's going to be a big question to ask there. Russell Wilson, quarterback, epic. He's search your deck for a power-up or gridiron card. So he lets you search for the gridiron cards that are in the set. Reveal it, put in your hand. If you do, discard a non-play card. And he happens only at the end of the play. So he has to stay ready for the entire play, and then he's going to go get you a gridiron card, which could be relevant for sure when you talk about, you know, Tom Brady can't get this because he can go get action cards. Gridiron card is in the action deck, but it's not considered an action card, so you can't search it, but Russell can, only at the end of the play. So he may see play, might be good. Air it out, Tom Brady. This guy's really good. Increase or decrease the play strength or catch range by up to 2. Only on-field adjustments. So basically he's an out work, give +1 to +2, or he can extend the range like Aaron Rodgers to up to +2. So very good card. Will he see play? Probably. He'd have to be kind of one of those things that you play him. He's good. He's better than last year's Tom Brady, that's for sure. Last year's Tom Brady was not very good. Primetime Stadium. This is our first gridiron stadium. Each possession, each player may prevent 1 exhaustion of a player they control as a result from either running, receiving, or tackling, or from opponent's card effect. So you can basically I can run the ball and not have to exhaust. Now, this is both players, so you're benefiting your own player. So if I play this on the field, I'm going to let you keep this so that I can reuse a guy twice. Like I can Myles Garrett you for 15 and then he stays ready and then I'll do it again on the next play. But you get the same thing. So you get to, you know, prevent one of your exhaustion abilities. So if I play this and then I have Derrick Henry, it would prevent him from one of my guys from being exhausted. So I get Derrick Henry and one other person and still get Derrick Henry's effect, which is pretty cool. That's one thing I guess I could see off the stadium. The good thing to note, guys, place on the field at the start of the possession, start of down, or at the end of the play. Any other stadium card on the field is placed in the owner's discard pile. So like in old school Pokemon, if I play a stadium and you play a stadium, it blows up my stadium and it goes to my discard pile. This is true for stadium gridiron cards and gridiron weather cards. Gridiron events actually stack, so they actually do not end up being discarded. So if you play like an event, a gridiron event, and I have a gridiron event, those will stack. But stadiums and weather do get blown up when the opponent or you play another one. So good thing to know. Another synergy card, Pro Bowl Squad. At the start of the possession, you may search for an action. Oh, search your action deck for a superstar card and attach it. While all of your players are superstar cards attached, your successful plays gain 10 yards and your opponent's successful plays gain 10 fewer yards. So like the Derrick Henry and the Derwin James effects, but you have to get all superstar cards. And you will see superstar cards in a bit. Most of them are legend. So this is going to be a weird synergy to play for some people. But you basically, your superstar cards start in your action deck, and you have to draw them. So this helps you search them out and then play them onto, like, let's say Patrick Mahomes. Like Patrick Mahomes Epic does the the audible ability, but you can play superstar Patrick Mahomes on top. And if you play him on top, then he stays there forever for the rest of the game, and he gets his new ability. But once you have all superstar cards, this then triggers Pro Bowl Squad, which you get an extra 10 yards. So it's very, very slow. I don't really see this being used very much, only because superstar cards are all legend from what I've seen. And even if so, like, you have like 4 to 5 guys on either side of the ball for this to actually trigger. And that's, I mean, by the time you set all that up, you're probably better off, you know, playing like Christian McCaffrey and attaching every attachment to him. So speaking of which, he's going to get better with a lot of these attachments that are coming out. So that's pretty cool. He just kind of gets better. As we can see, the foiling of the new plays, I think the foiling on the plays look very good. I'm glad that they kept the 2020 style of the play look, the design. This is a 7 strength, 1-time medium pass for 35, and it is a 0 through 5. I don't really like this type of play, only because it's a 0 through 5 and you're on a 7. So you're really banking on them giving you that extra push, that 3 through 8. Medium pass, it defends itself, so that's always good. That's not bad. Foiling looks good, so I can't complain there. You can see a bunch of other abilities. This one here, this play is actually really strong. A 6 strength on a 3 through 9, right down dead center for 30 yards and covers a short pass. Definitely very, very good. We'll have to see how I'm still not sold on the foiling until I see it in person. Plays I think look good. Actions look good. Or power-ups look good. I'm sorry. Actions, I don't know. Stay at the weather. Players don't look terrible. We'll see how they look, and maybe, like I said, in person, maybe different. Action generic tag team. Choose an exhausted player you control, then energize 2 players with a lower rating than the chosen player. So that could be useful, something that you may end up using. I really don't really like that card. I don't think it's going to be very good. I mean, I've been proven wrong before as far as some of these cards. I think after you evolve them and start building decks around them specifically. But there's nothing that really pops out on this for me. It just, I mean, why would I exhaust one of my Deuce Ready 2 guys? I mean, if I don't really need that guy and he's high rating, I can see that. Maybe. It's not bad. Sideline to sideline, amazing card. Tackle, gain 10 fewer yards if the runner or receiver does not have a power-up attached. If they do, it's 5 fewer yards. So this is actually really, really good. That can definitely be a mainstay, staple. Sunny skies, gridiron, weather. So here's a weather card. All successful plays gain additional 5 yards unless the tackler is unaffected. So if you're unaffected by weather cards, then they've got you. But in this case, if I play this, I get an extra 5 yards. This would actually help. I'd play Sunny Skies and the Raiders. Then, high-powered offensive, just playing all this stuff and then being like, okay, I get 50 or 60 yards. So that's another 5. Chase, defensive end. Tackle, run, gains 10 fewer yards if there's a gridiron card on the field. Otherwise, gain 5 fewer yards. So that's not bad. Like before, they were focusing on power-ups in last year. This year, it is, gridiron cards, and this guy gets buffed for gridiron cards. He's a common, so it's not bad. draft and sealed, this guy's definitely playable. 10 fewer yards if there's a gridiron card on the field. I mean, I definitely want to play gridiron. I think, you know, obviously he'd be like rare, epic, or higher if you said like he's unaffected and he gains the extra 10. That'd be cool. Maybe we'll see that in the set. Here's Foily Patrick Mahomes, same one that we saw, just the foil design. Not too bad. Again, I want to see the foils in person to actually really make a judgment call on those. Forced audible. I think this card is absolutely busted. You'll definitely see 4 of these in competitive play. I mean, 2 of these in competitive play every time. There's no reason not to. And the reason why I say that is, you know, forced audible. Your opponent flips over the top card of their play deck, and it becomes their current play only during on-field adjustments. So in those crucial 3rd and 4th downs where they're like, I really need, I'm gonna, you know, this is the play. I'm gonna pick this play. And this is guaranteed getting me, you know, the yardage that I need or getting me there. And you just force audible them, and they have to play with whatever's on the top of the deck. And if you call the same play, then they're just done. And I think that's really, really strong. One of the most underrated people, I think, in 2020 was Justin Houston of the Colts, that had this almost the same effect, except he made both players flip the top card. They didn't get to choose a play. It just happened naturally. And I played that, and it seemed to, you know, be very, very strong as far as throwing people off balance, because when they don't get to pick the play that they want, they're forced to pick, you know, a specific play. It really throws off the game. So it's definitely something that's very, very different. So this I can see being a strong 2-up staple, even in meta decks or competitive play. Here we are with our first superstar card, and of course it is Patrick Mahomes, Mr. Just you know, amazing, awesome, Super Bowl winning quarterback from the Kansas City Chiefs. No shade whatsoever. Exhaust, choose run a reverse or play action pass X 0 through 9. That becomes your current play, and X equals 5 times the play strength. Resolve yardage like a run. Exhaust only during on-field adjustments. So this you can actually make into a 45-yard play action pass or run reverse. Very awesome. This card is amazing. This is like a juiced up Lamar Jackson. And I don't know if run reverse is something that is terminology for what Lamar used to be. Like, oh, I can just, you know, take and move, you know, if I'm run right and the only open option is middle, and this is what their terminology is going to be, is run reverse. So then it goes to the open slot. Or if it's just a play call, run reverse, instead of middle, left, and right, there's run reverse, which just automatically hits, which would be a cool idea too. Or there's play action pass. And since play action pass isn't short, medium, or long, you can't defend that either. So that'll be interesting to see. But he just straight says clack, choose, you know, and you choose X also. So your opponent flips over a card and says, all right, I picked the same play you did on short pass. Bam, I'm going to do run reverse. No, I guess you can't do that. It'd have to be play action pass. It's going to be interesting to see how that call is. This guy's going to get some questions. But let's say I run right, and then bam, you run right, and I say run reverse. Your play strength is 4. I choose 5, makes it a 9. I go 45 yards. Bam, there we go. Big Patrick Mahomes fashion. Josh Allen got legendary status here. Awesome. Exhaust, return a card from your discard pile to your hand from your action deck discard pile. And then do not draw an action card at the end of the down. Exhaust only at the end of the play. So it has to say card from your discard pile to your hand because it could be a gridiron card, it could be a superstar card, I guess, if it finds its way in there. If synergy cards can go there, then that's something too. Weather cards, so all the gridiron card types would just be something that's there, and so that would be that, and that's why he says you can't draw an action card, but you can't, return a card from your play deck. I guess technically he says you can, but he'll probably see some type of errata. I don't know why you would ever do that, but I mean, there's some pretty unique plays that would be cool to just pick up and use again. So I guess he could. Superstar Khalil Mack tackle gains 15 fewer yards just straight up. This is a much better Myles Garrett. I mean, you have to search and draw him from the play deck or action deck. But once he's on the table, you're just 15 fewer yards without not having a power up. So Khalil Mack's good. Superstar Travis Kelce. If the play would gain 25 fewer than 25 yards, it gains 25 instead. And at the end of the play, you can ready another player. Kelce doing great things. He's good. I could screen pass for 15, and then after modifiers, be like, all right, it's gaining 25. He's good. So Joey Bosa, exhaust, choosing a 3-number range. So 0, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, whatever the case may be. You determine the grit. If the grit is the chosen range, the play is unsuccessful and loses 20 yards instead of gained or lost in the play. So just huge, but does require you to get the grit within 3 range, which is not terrible. It's easy to do. But if you do, and 20 yards, just straight loss, go backwards 20 yards. Trying to get more big loss where they can actually naturally get a safety, which would be cool. Come Brian, king of safeties over here. So according to Brian, but yeah, what can you do when your first game you play is 4-0 and it came off 2 safeties? Yeah, that's the game. But that's when your first game on camera. So it was a lot of fun. Here we are, Gridiron event. This is the first Gridiron event card. At the end of the play, you may remove this card from the field. If you do, energize all your players on the field. This ability only used once per side of the ball of the game. It can only be placed at the start of the possession, start of down, or end of the play. So end of the play this, end of the play, pop it, remove it, and then all your guys get energized. Little trickery there, which can work. It's cool. Only use it once on either side of the ball, so I probably would only run one of this card. That way you're not, drawing it in multiples because you really don't need to see it more than once on either side of the ball. So there's ways to get it back, like Basic Instinct, things like that. Josh Allen, grab this card back and use it again when you need it. Another Gridiron weather card. We saw Sunny Skies, 5 extra yards, unless they're unaffected. This is a much more devastating. I think this one here, Freezing Rain, is absolutely a monstrosity of a card that just kind of says you don't play the game. All players on the field or that come onto the field are exhausted unless they are unaffected. So there's got to be a lot of guys that are going to be unaffected by weather, and if that's the case, then you're going to run that with this. They may not be energized while this card's on the field unless they're unaffected. And when this card leaves the field, energize all players. So you're going to want to play Sunny Skies to counteract Freezing Rain, simply because this is a very dominant card, or, hate for this card where it says, remove Gridiron weather card from the field. All these Gridiron cards, guys, all say, played at the start of the possession, start of the downer, at the end of the play. And of course, any other card that's weather or stadium comes on the field, blows up the other one. Those are just conditions that are always on those particular cards. I think that, this particular card will definitely see play in high level competitive play because it's such a strong answer to a lot of things on the in the game that just says like I'm winning. And don't get me wrong, like what there's a couple things that scream out to me in this is like I could play this at the end of the end of the play when I'm going like to defense, and so your offense is completely neutralized unless you have something ready for this, and it just sits there and you don't get any of your guys. And then at the end of like the third down, fourth down, when you punt back to me or I get possession at the end of that play or into that down, I can play Sunny Skies and pop this. And then when my guys hit the table, they're all ready and we go to work. So that's what I see there. I also see that Derrick Henry would love this card, just exhaust all dudes. And Derrick Henry already gets his ability, or seemingly would get his ability, and you just gain an extra 10 yards every single play. And, if you can play that in like a synergy and you just gain extra yards while your guys are tapped or not, then this card works great for that kind of strategy. So that's good. Here's another synergy card that we saw. This actually was the most recent spoiled as of 8-9, I believe. Synergy Platoon Tactics. Synergy is active if the sum of all your player rating is equal to 850. At the end of the play, you may replace one of your players on the field with one of your players on the bench. So this really just says I get a free substitution every single down at the end of the play, as long as I'm playing less than 850, which can be done. You can play like 2 high-powered dudes and then just a bunch of small rookies or just whatever to get you under that 850 mark. You can have a real strong offense and then like a real weak defense that's just lower ratings, not necessarily weak overall in their abilities, and you get to play this particular synergy. And what's cool about this synergy is that it happens every single time. So there's some combos that you'll be able to start doing by just shifting a guy in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. So that's good to note. Again, this is another thing that I see like with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry can exhaust your entire board and they don't really get their abilities. However, if you have a guy who's, combo wise, I play Derrick Henry and then on the bench I have Mark Ingram. And then this active at the end of the play, I just sub him in. I gain 10, then I tap him, gain extra 5, that's extra 15, and then I bring a guy that I just swapped out back in, and he comes in energized, so then he can be able to do his ability now because he's not tapped due to Derrick Henry. And so those are little combo tricks, things that's kind of cool that this works with. So things to keep in mind, guys. Very good. Kyle Pitts, rookie card, tight end. One of the first guys that we've seen that actually gains 20 yards on a receive if there are no weather cards on the field. So as I stated before, I think high-end competitive play, you're going to see freezing rain. And if you're going to see freezing rain, you got to play sunny skies to counter it. Those are just the 2 weather cards we've seen, really so far. And so to see that and then see him draft and sealed, this guy's great. You're not going to see a lot of weather cards, so this guy can definitely see play all day. Competitive play, probably not so much. Casual play and synergy, yeah, absolutely. I'll play this guy all day. This is disappointing. Trey Lance, rookie card. Exhaust a guy who doesn't have power up. Exhaust only at the end of the play. He's a weaker Cam Newton. Only if they don't have a power up attached can he exhaust. And yeah, moving on. The first punter that we have in the game, old Johnny. I'm real sad when I saw the preview of this card, knowing that we got our first punter, and I thought, oh, cool, it'd be awesome. But the ability's lackluster. It's amazing. Guys, we don't punt once per game, but this guy's ability is only once per game, which just, it's meant, I get it. If it was not once per game, it'd be kind of, not busted, but it would be pretty good. I'd like to try to see how it'd be if you just play him without the restriction. So anyways, guys, he's bench. So he's bench active. He can be on your bench and a trigger. Discard a non-play card from your hand, which is gridiron card, power up, action, superstar, non-play card. Discard it, choose a grit value. Determine grit value. If you choose correctly, you take the next possession. So you have to get it exactly right. Otherwise, your opponent takes the next possession. The next possession starts at the current yard line. Activate this ability at the start of 4th down when you're on offense and you choose to punt. Instead of attempting to punt, this ability can only be used once per game. So you go for the fake punt. It's risky and it could be game changing. Once per game. Come on, man. Once per game. That's so hard. Like, I got to discard a card. And then I got to call it right. 0 through 9. I got to call it right. And that's not that I can stack my deck. My opponent can still have whatever the heck they have on top. Even if I got an extra 1 off that, this is, I can pick 1 plus 2. I just don't see it. I think this guy is overall just bad. The only time you play it is if it's synergy and you need somebody who's other than, what you already have, just an extra player that can actually get played onto the field, that has a different position, that is LA Ram that you need, and you just need him to be there. And then let me just throw up the Hail Mary and attempt to try and get it. This guy would have been semi-decent if you said he wasn't once per game and you could continuously try to fake punt your opponent. I mean, you're giving your opponent the ball wherever its current yard line is. So it's not like super terrible. I'm at the 50-yard line. Oh, well, my opponent's now at the 50-yard line if I fail. Give me that opportunity. Let me go ahead and just keep abusing. The only thing I can think about that they put the once per game on here is because they were scared that those abilities or they start looking to the future of being able to stack grit or make grit more manageable. But right now, grit is so difficult to even fathom that, I mean, other than like, oh, I'm playing a player who plays nothing but zeros in his deck, so I know I can call 0 plus whatever's on top of my deck and I could stack my deck. There's just so many variables to even make that possible that this guy should not be a once per game. Just my thought. Synergy turnover machine. Synergy is active if you have 2 or more players per rarity. So you can have more than 2 rares or more 2 than epics, more 2 legends. Whenever grit would be determined to settle a potential turnover, you may choose to increase the success range by 1. If you announce the modifier prior to determining grit, a move in 5 to a 5/6, etc. So this is I play the punter, I play the weather, and I play the Richard Sherman and Demonte Kazi and the interception and the pick 6, and I play all that crap to get an extra 1. 1 success. My 5 becomes a 5/6. My 5 becomes a 4. My 0 becomes a 1. 1/0 or 9/0. Yay. I really don't up the odds. It's very low percentage chance. And if I can keep doing it over and over and over again with this synergy, sure. Yeah. Play the kicker, play the punter, play Sherman, play Kazi, play your guys who just force fumbles and want to turn over the ball and keep trying and trying and trying and trying. And hopefully you play a really stacked offense that's going to score you points so you can at least try and get the ball back once. That is all the spoilers that I have currently. There were some, of course, that were non-visual. I did not include those. Some of them were repeats that were non-visual, but I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea, some things that we're looking at, some ideas. I'm still trying to go ahead and get those deck tech profiles out to you guys. I've got like 3 now waiting. I've got, of course, the Andrew Luck deck, the Audible deck, Andrew Luck, and then, of course, the Ben Roethlisberger, Dak Prescott. I missed, but got pass interference, so I got an extra 10 or extra 15 yards. Deck, which is kind of cool. Those are just cool ideas, something for fun. And of course, now with 2021 will be the new big spoiler. Will be the synergized deck, the Oakland Raiders synergized deck. Just go, wide and to the point. So you guys keep a lookout for those. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry, it's been a long time since the last video. Trying to put more content out there, but life being busy and everything going on is quite tough. Glad to be back in the thick of things. Glad that football's back. We can get our minds off things and kind of go into football again. So definitely excited. Can't wait to see some of the next previews. Box opening coming up next Monday, guys. So be prepared to get in Discord or the Zoom meeting for that. Check out the box break, see what comes out of there. Things, cards we haven't seen yet. Some ideas to see, maybe hopefully see the foiling a little better and things like that. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Until next time. Y'all have a great and fabulous day.